Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I've got my other microphone from my headphones because I wrecked my other one. Bad things happen when you forget you're plugged in and off you go. But this works fine too. I've tested this one out. So I am reading today because I want to read with you guys. I really want clarity about this tower card that keeps coming up at the bottom of the deck. No matter what I do, I swear, yesterday I saw it 10 times. Ridiculous. No matter what I'm reading on, this tower card is there. Sort of bubbling under the surface is what I'm taking that to mean. So I've been asking Source what that's about. And I believe that we're going to have some trouble from Michigan militia groups, not all groups are the same, right? But, the one that almost kidnapped Governor Whitmer in Michigan and they were crazy. They were going to shoot police and they were going to do all kinds of things, leave her in the middle of Lake Michigan to freeze, or I don't know. So, anyway, the FBI, I hope they're really understanding what's going on there. We have this card just flipped out. So that's the winning at any cost card. That's the Five of Swords. I feel it. Apparently Trump has been giving messages to this group like, still saying free Michigan and still saying, Gretchen Whitmer didn't thank him enough for the intervention and all kinds of other weird stuff against Gretchen Whitmer. The state hates her. Her voters hate her. That kind of thing. So, and I felt this like something is going to happen. I've thought more domestic kinds of attacks. And I closed my eyes last night and I saw an image of a reporter like covering something in the middle, covering a building or covering something. Who knows? Maybe it was a fire. I don't know. Covering something though, and being blown back or blown forward from an explosion. And I don't know if that's a literal thing that I'm seeing or if I've been very concerned about explosions with that group, bombs, things like that. Either that group, that the Wolverines or what have you, particular militia group are associated. So, Spirit, is this... First of all, let's look at Gretchen Whitmer. How is she doing? And then we'll try to get more information about this. We have the Two of Swords. She is going back and forth between, should I stay put in the governor's mansion? Should I be in hiding still? What's my plan? Two of Coins is the challenge. She needs to balance her security, yes, but also she wants to be a governor. She doesn't want to appear afraid. She wants to do her work. She wants stability. She's thinking about her family. So I really feel like she really just wants to stay put. She doesn't want to be in hiding here, but I don't know. I don't know if that's wise. We have the Nine of Wands underneath. She's battle wearied. She's in battle. Oh, this has even affected her then to the point where it's been a little traumatic. And it's so crazy, It's hard for her to know what is a serious threat, what's not. Past is Three of Wands. Yeah, she was calmer about this whole issue in the past before she learned about how deep this goes. But in the past, it was sort of like, okay, we're keeping an eye on it. She felt reassured by national security. Above it all is the King of Coins. Who's that? Queen of Wands. Okay, so she really is an ambitious woman. She is politically ambitious and savvy, and this is her career, and she wants it that way. Um, in her mind, she's at the beginning of her career. You know, she's got ambitions. She does talk to key Democrats. She does talk to powerful people in business. The king of coins. She just wants to keep marching forward with her career. I think she still thinks she could maybe be, well, I think a cabinet member. Maybe not president, but oh, she's going to be in Washington. I don't know if she wants to still run again. That's an open-ended question for her, but I feel like she'd be satisfied with perhaps a cabinet member position, or something up there. That's for sure. So, and she does want to head to Washington, I think. So she's really focused on that. I'm concerned, is she paying enough attention to the danger she's in? I feel like she doesn't want her plans disrupted. In the immediate future, we have the Five of Swords. We just saw that pop out, didn't we? What's the clarifier? Seven of Wands. It's sort of like, I'm going to win at any cost. I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going to be scared off. It does bother her. Yeah. Some of these far right, like Trump, oh, we've got to be tough. Don't be scared. Don't be, any kind of pejorative labels. Don't be that, And it does bother her a bit. And she is not that, because she's not that. She is quite brave. She is quite strong. She is quite, yeah, she is not someone to shrink from a challenge. So it does bother her. So she kind of, but I feel like the minute I saw this card too, I was like, oh, is she seeing all this clearly though? I feel like she'd want to hang in longer than she should. She's going to be okay though, is what I'm hearing. But it's just the unrest in that militia. Let's see. Root of the matter is Six of Coins. Like she's giving a little, she is concerned about her future. She's kind of trying to, I feel like, make promises to people. I feel like she's really focusing on her political future. And then we have the Temperance angel in the home environment. Like, I'm going to behave prudently. She thinks I'm going to go slowly. I just feel like there are more dangerous people in her state than she knows. And then the Ace of Coins is the hopes and fears. Outcome is truth and star. Okay, so she does rise above this. She is all right. Three of Swords. She does have more trouble from these groups. And there's that Wheel of Fortune I keep getting too, along with the Tower. Like there's something new coming here. Okay, so Spirit, what is that explosion about then that I saw? I feel like it's to send a message. Why do I feel like the target is the media? I feel like the media is targeted. There's plenty of anger about these men having been arrested and getting into trouble. There's lots of anger about that, and not only from their particular group, but associated groups. So, lots of misinformation out there. Lots of that. Oh, yeah, we have some real unrest fomented. I just hope that members of the media are very careful, and there's a lot of security around papers, headquarters for papers, headquarters for media outlets. Let's see, anything more about that? Well, we have the Justice card. People will be apprehended. We have the Seven of Swords. Yes, there is a plan, a scheme. We have the Hermit. And this is back in the far reaches of isolation. So there is planning happening at a base of one of these militias. There is. And they may even be hard to spy on because they're isolated and they're not using cell phones. That's what I'm getting. And this group, I don't know the whole story, but my feeling was that it had been infiltrated, and that's why the FBI knew about it, but the FBI doesn't know what goes on in all of those groups, in all of those meetings. So, let's see, Spirit. Yeah, it's not as secure as you would hope. Okay, well, what does future bring, Spirit? Oh, there's the Justice card again. Okay, so the trials of these men are going to be important. The coverage of those, that kind of thing is important in all this. And again, this scheme. And 7 of coins. All of these militiamen don't feel as safe because many of them have had conversations about this kind of thing, this kind of illegal behavior, kidnapping, or, starting a war. They've all had conversations like this. And now they wonder who's heard me, what's going on, are we all being targeted? So they're getting more desperate. So guys, I think there's going to be something. I don't know that it's immediate. I think they're planning on something. I like the Justice card though, because I feel like it may be being investigated already. Let's see. But there it is again. The Tower, the Wheel of Fortune, but then the Page of Coins. Yeah, I just think there's some sort of attack. I do. But the Page of Coins, this there's more information also. And also, I see. It's sort of like there is some sort of attack. They're trying to coordinate attacks. And that will be thwarted. It won't be like here, 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 and here, and here like that. It'll be, but I do see at least one, sort of explosion. And I don't know what that is. Explosion with fire. I don't know what that is. So, all right. Well, we just pray for this to be prevented, for one thing. And we do ask Spirit to protect and insulate all those who could be affected and expose those who are plotting and scheming. We're going to learn a lot more about the plots and the schemes. Yeah, I think so. Then, like I said, it's not like going to be successful. But there may be one instance, one attack that is successful. Okay, so anything else? There it is again. Well, certainly pregnant with the possibility. There's lots of strife. I feel like they're talking about it now, so it's not like going to happen tomorrow. They're talking about it. We will have to watch the trials and how the trials are being covered and who's covering the trials of these men, for sure. And then we have the Empress, because really pregnant with the possibility of a lot of trouble. They don't feel safe. 7 of Swords. And so 7 of Swords, 7 of Coins. They don't feel safe. They're going to plan and scheme. Try to get away with something. All right. So, for what it's worth, I wanted to let people know I don't like doing readings to make people feel afraid. But, if we have been seeing towers, and if there's more information that Spirit might be able to give that might help define it a little, that's not a bad thing. All right. Well, you take care, everybody out there. I want to ask too about voters. Are they safe at the polls? Are the voters safe at the polls? Because we know there are these measures for intimidation, right? Well, that's the Republican plan. Did you all see that article about this group, conservative group? It's got a name that isn't even, doesn't even seem like conservative, a conservative kind of name. I forgot. I will put it in the first comment, you guys. But this video about exactly how they have been working so hard to spread misinformation, exaggerate misinformation, suppress the vote in a number of ways, give Trump candidates for federal judges and push him to appoint them. All this, to all this coordination we've always seen. Apparently, this is one of the groups that does it. Kellyanne Conway was involved with this. Steve Bannon was involved. I've always seen this group, and I'm like, which group is this? Is it Heritage Foundation? Is it Federalist Society? What is this? But it's associated, but no. And just a group that would meet weekly and try to push its agenda and really buy politicians and all of that and influence them for their own agenda, which is a very minimalist, original, I forgot the name of it, but they would call it the original reading of the Constitution, sort of libertarian maybe, but originalist. Amy Coney Barrett is a originalist. In other words, before the New Deal, before worker protections, before fair labor laws. Let's go back to those days when capitalism just plowed forward, unfettered and unregulated, that kind of thing. And this group does that. So, so they're trying to suppress the vote. However, are voters safe at the polls? That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, well, see, they have their schemes. Their misinformation. They're working with Trump. He's their greatest spreader of misinformation and exaggerator of conspiracy theories, amplifier of conspiracy theories. They've been feeding him the conspiracy theories to retweet. So a lot of this is mind games, then, is what I'm hearing. A lot of this is head games. Yeah, the Democrats will celebrate anyway. Ace of Cups, just do your thing. Do your duty. Be regular, plotting. A lot of this is not that voters will be intimidated at polling places. It's that they will have to be diligent, keep at it, do the boring stuff, maybe sit there hours, maybe check and recheck their registration is fine. If they live in a state that has you verify your signature, all kinds of nonsense is happening all over the place. But in Georgia, there is record early voting. So I'm so glad for them. And so, Spirit, how does it look for the voting? We have fewer and fewer people willing to say that Trump could win. We have more and more people saying, hey, the polls are actually better for Biden than they were for Hillary at this point. There's Biden. There's sitting pretty. There's Page of Wands. So that's people getting out the vote. That's young people. Listening to that group, though, listening to some of the audio, and the Washington Post published the story on it. That's who did it. Look at this. Bottom of the deck again, you guys. Well, listening to that audio, but there's opportunity in the tower, yeah. But listening to that audio, I realized they sound a little desperate. They know that the numbers are saying their time is come and gone. They know that the voters are becoming more educated. They are wanting to see their interests represented, and they're younger. And by a certain time, white people will be in the minority, and they know that. And they know that, white male dominance is really flittering away. And many men are they're like, what is this anyway? We're all equal. And they don't have any interest in protecting privilege, protecting an unfair system. But there are those who very much want to hang on to their privilege and any extra power they can have. And they sound kind of desperate to me. And it's not just the men, it's the women too. It's the women too in that group. They are desperate. Many of them are outright bigots, but also just hanging on to the money, the power, they're not going to be able to. Yeah, the generational money, right. hanging on to that power, expanding that power, because they're going to be outnumbered by a lot. So, anyway, that's the way things are going, though. Those that say these are the last gasps of a time that's come and gone are correct, I think. But they can create enough trouble, can't they? In the meantime, yeah, they don't feel safe. 7 of Coins. How much money do they need to feel safe, right? Empress. New beginning is coming in, though. Ace of Coins. You know what? There's an opportunity for greater security. We all have our votes. We all have a lot of power with that. And people are using them. So, thank you, all of you who've already voted. Thank you, all of you who will vote. Take care, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.